Lying on a sterile operating table unable to move while local anesthesia numbs your lower body is terrifying enough. But nothing could prepare me for the exact words that came out of my surgeon's mouth. I was supposed to be completely out, that my mind was fully awake when I heard Dr. Vance whisper to the head nurse to secretly hand a thick, sealed envelope to my wife in the waiting room and make sure I never saw it. My blood ran completely cold as I lay there perfectly still, faking unconsciousness while trying to process why my trusted doctor and my wife of 7 years were keeping something life-altering from me. The moment I got my hands on that envelope and tore it open, the truth inside shattered my entire life and revealed a web of deceit that went far deeper than a simple medical procedure. My name is David, and for 7 years, I believed I had the perfect marriage with my wife, Sarah. We had built a peaceful life together, but after endless discussions about our future, we agreed that we did not want children. To make sure we were on the same page and could focus on our careers, I decided to undergo a routine vasectomy. Everything about the day seemed completely normal until I arrived at the clinic. Dr. Vance was a well-respected surgeon in our town, someone Sarah had actually recommended after meeting him through her corporate networking events. I sat in the prep room feeling slightly nervous, but Sarah held my hand, smiled warmly, and told me how much she loved me before being escorted out to the main waiting area. When they brought me into the operating suite, the anesthesiologist administered a sedative alongside the local numbing agent. It was meant to keep me completely asleep during the minor surgery. But for some reason, my brain remained completely conscious even though my eyelids felt heavy and my body was entirely paralyzed. I lay there in complete darkness, trapped inside my own skin, listening to the sterile humming of the equipment and the soft clinking of surgical tools. That was when Dr. Vance leaned in close to the surgical nurse, his voice dropping to an urgent whisper that sent a surge of panic through my chest. He handed her a thick manila envelope and gave strict instructions to hand it directly to Sarah in the lobby, warning her explicitly that I must never discover what was inside. Flood of terrifying questions rushed through my mind as I lay motionless on that table. Was I dying from some hidden medical condition? Was Sarah having an affair with my doctor? I forced my breathing to stay steady, knowing that if my heart monitor spiked, they would realize I was listening. I kept my eyes closed, enduring the rest of the procedure in sheer agony as I plotted how to get that envelope before Sarah could hide it. When the surgery finally wrapped up, they transferred me to a recovery room to wait for the sedation to wear off. I pretended to be slowly waking up, groaning softly to play the part, all while keeping my eyes peeled for the moment the nurse walked out to the waiting room. As soon as the nurse stepped away from my bedside to speak with a receptionist, I pulled myself up despite the sharp discomfort in my abdomen. I slipped out of the room, keeping low along the quiet hallway wall until I saw Sarah sitting in the private consultation corner. The nurse was handing her the envelope, and I watched as Sarah opened it with trembling hands. I crept closer behind the frosted glass divider and managed to snatch the folder right off the table before Sarah could react. Inside were not medical charts, but a set of secret paternity results and bank transfers proving that Sarah had been using my credentials to funnel thousands of dollars into Dr. Vance's private practice to cover up a previous medical malpractice lawsuit that involved her family, alongside a positive pregnancy test under her name dated 3 weeks prior. Standing there in the middle of that clinic, holding the undeniable evidence of betrayal, I looked my wife dead in the eye as the color drained from her face. She tried to stammer out an explanation, claiming she was trying to protect me. But the paper trail in my hand spoke louder than any of her lies. I walked out of that building that very afternoon, filed for a total divorce, and reported Dr. Vance to the state medical board for unethical conduct and fraud. They thought they could execute a hidden scheme right over my unconscious body. But listening in silence gave me the power to tear down their lies and reclaim my life completely free from their deception.